Alright y'all, how's everybody doing? This video is definitely long overdue, and what this video is about to get you just start thinking about what I take on a scout trip. This is pretty much all I take. We're gonna go over some items. When I talk about a scout bag, what I mean is something light. To me, what a scout bag means, it's not a bug out bag. A bug out bag is something, or a bug out bag, you're gonna bug out with a little more supplies than this. This is a scout bag. You're gonna go in, get to know an area, maybe check an area out overnight, and that's what I mean by this. And there's a couple things that are not here, but I'll explain it. And I'm gonna go over some items that we have here just to get your mind thinking. Again, what I mean by a scout bag, you're gonna go check an area that you're not familiar with for a possible bug out location or a possible cache location or a possible happy place. Check out my happy place video, I'll link it up the top. So that's what I mean. You're checking out an area you're not really familiar with, or you want to obtain more intel on the area. Now there's a couple things that is missing and we'll go over them, but yours might be different. When I go on a scout, I try to go as light as possible. I try to go as light as possible. So that's just me. You can adjust this. You can make any type of adjustments you need to make to this. You can add to this. You can do whatever you want because it's your world out there, okay? But this is what I do personally, and just to get your mind thinking a little bit. But we're going to go over some things. I'm just going to point it out. You can add to it, take ideas from, do whatever you want to out there. But I'm going to go over again my scout kit. If I'm going in to check out an area, if I'm trying to gather more intel about an area, this is what I take with me, minus a couple items, but we're going to go over that. So I take whatever food if I'm going for a night. It's just some Mountain House. I take food. If I'm going one night, I'll take a couple or two, whatever you think you may need. I might go for a night or two when I scout an area, maybe 3. I've been out scouting areas for 4 days before, so it just all depends how long. So I pack accordingly. I take a platypus, just a water bladder, something to carry water in. I like taking just a plain water bottle. Just a plain water bottle to drink out of, very light. Again, the key here is light. Take a cooking container. This is a eating utensil. Try to roll with titanium. This is a stove. You don't want to have a big fire if you can help it. Some nights might, depending where you're at, fire permitted, you might get away with it. I try to leave as low signature as possible when I'm going. So I take just a little pocket rocket and a canister of gas so I can warm up water, boil water if I have to, tea, coffee, whatever you prefer. I take a water filter. That's just a life straw. I got a lot of different water filters, but a lot of times on my little scout trips, I'll just take a life straw. We got a whole bunch of these that I take just because it's so light. Again, light is key. Now, this is kind of over redundant a little bit, but you might have to get out there and cut down some trees or do some work to remove some limbs or something. So depending what I do, again, I may take my little hatchet with me. I do have a number of axes, but this one's light. Again, that's key. Light. It's a little handheld hatchet. Always take. This is my saw, foldable saw that I take. So again, with this, my scout kit, you're definitely going to see the 5 C's represented. 5 C's of survival. Some people have more, but just going with the 5 C's. If you don't know, some people don't know, that is a container, which we got a cutting tool, which is this right here. Cover, which is this. We have a combustion, which is this right here. Container, cutting tool, cover, combustion device, cordage, and you're going to see the cordage at the end. And again, that's the 5 C's of survival. A container, a cutting tool, combustion device, cordage, and cover, which the cover is a tarp. It's a tarp that I do take. What you do not see here represented is my sleeping bag. That's another thing I do take with me. Again, this is just a scout. It's not here. So I take some gloves. I'm going to be working with wood. I'm going to be working with fire. This is a, zoom on in, this is a neck knife that I have on my person. I always have on my person a lighter too that you don't see, but this is a kind of cheapo fire rod. Take my Mora knife. Take my Mora knife. A lot of people have different knives. Again, light, that's the key. Neck knife. I always try to have the 5Cs on me as well on my person. So I'll have some cordage in my pocket. I'll have this neck knife on me. I'll have a combustion device. I have a little foldable or a bottle in my pocket or something. That's my compass. This is my compass. This is just an El Cheapo one. It's very accurate though, so I like it. I take, another thing you don't see here is I take a little handheld flashlight. It's very small, probably about the length of this. It's very small that I take. Hit torches, headlights, take a couple of them just in case one acts up. Plus I got the flashlight on me as well. I don't take this big map with me, but we went over maps. But what I like to do is whatever area I'm going to scout out, I stay away from Google Maps. Sometimes I'll jump on it sometimes. But again, these maps are top notch. And what they are, they're actually like it's a satellite map. It's a satellite map, so it's very detailed, highly detailed maps. I have a video about these maps. But what I like to do is take a photocopy. I'll photocopy off the printer of what section I'm going to. This is like a, shows what type of like grid you're in. So wherever I'm going, I got a whole bunch. I got like, so I think I got like 25 of these maps. I need to get another 25 to have the nifty 50, have at every state. So what I like to do with the maps, I'll take this, have a printer or a copier, a photocopier. I'll make a copy of whatever grid, if you can see that, whatever grid, each individual square on this represents a grid. I'll take a copy of that grid, make a couple copies, and just roll with the paper. We're staying light. This is some binoculars I take. Now, a lot of people, they'll take binoculars and they'll keep it in their bag and they don't use it a lot. But I always have my binoculars on my person, because you got to understand, a lot of times you might be in a place where people have trail cams. People could be, there could be deer stands, there could be whatever. So I move very slow, and I have my binoculars. I get them out and I put them in my hand and I'm walking with them, y'all. It's very important. These do the job for me. They're light and they're not the best, but they do the job. And I scan the lower, near the forest floor. I'll do mid scan, and I'll do a tree scan at the top. And I move very slow, and I'm scanning a lot. You know, I might not walk through the forest with these on. You know, I move maybe, I don't know, 40 yards, and then I start scanning again. But like what I want to like doing with these binoculars, I scan low, mid, and high in the trees. People have deer stands, people have trail cams, people have it's all sorts of stuff out there, y'all. So you might be coming out to the opening, to a field or something. So I like to scan maybe every 40, 50 yards, maybe. It all depends. I'm not walking with them in my eyes because you got to see. I do take some safety glasses so the branches don't hit me in my face, or I wear glasses a lot of times. So it's just natural, or sunglasses or something, so I can have some eye protection as well. This is a digging tool. I don't carry a big shovel, but this does the job. This is brand new. I just got this, but I have another one, our little gardening tool that you can dig deep with it, y'all. You can dig deep. Keo helps me out too. So now on a scout trip, if we get out there, might be a little different because I have a Keo with me. Who knows? I might take a tent, but just on an everyday purpose. Every day, this is what I roll with in my car for the most part. You know, I don't have a full bug out kit, but I'm so used to this. This is like second nature to me right here. So this is all I need. I could live forever off of what you see here for the most part. There's some other stuff, but I like hammocks, y'all. I like hammocks when I go out on a scout because you don't leave no trace on the floor. You don't disturb no vegetation. You want to disturb as less as possible the vegetation in the area. You want to carry a bag where you don't see and pick up all your garbage. If you smoke, make sure you don't leave no cigarette butts behind. Do whatever you gotta do to leave no trace. No trace. So I like carrying a hammock because you're off the forest floor. You're in trees, you're leaving less signature. So on a scout, 9 times out of 10, I got a hammock with me. Sometimes when I got the dog with me, a Keo, I'll take a tent. Depending on how long I go out, this is just a battery pack. They got solar packs. This one is pretty good. This will last a long time. It's heavy though, this one. I do have a lighter one. I just grabbed the first thing I saw just to remind you. And I use this for a variety of things, for camera equipment to recharge them, to recharge batteries for a radio that I take, to recharge headlamps, to recharge my little handheld flashlight. I'll take that. I take a trail cam with me to set up. Make sure you obey all laws in your area with the trail cams. Don't be coming at me about the trail cams. If you get in trouble, make sure you obey all local, federal, and state laws with surveillance type equipment in your area. So I take that to leave up so I can monitor the traffic. Might take 2 if need be at 2 different locations. This is some cordage that I take. You can use this to tie up your tarp, to have cover over your head. Don't forget the tarp that we're learning all this on. So I'll take this. A lot of times I like taking this lightweight fishing line because that's how I remind myself of different things, how to find different things. I might tie a piece of fishing line to a tree branch, old dead tree branch or whatever. I kind of leave myself a mark. I stack rocks. There's many things you could do, but me personally, I don't take a cell phone with me. I don't take a cell phone. The only electronic equipment that I take is this trail cam when called for and that radio, and that's it. I do not take any cell phone, nothing like that, but you do you. That's just me. I take no cell phone, but that's just me. But I use the fishing thing. I might tie it to a little rock or something. I stack rocks, something to remind me where my cache is or where to go in at. And to me, I got good navigational skills. It's like a gift from God. I got like a sixth sense with it. Normally can figure my way out. Hardly ever get lost. Not saying I can't. I'm just saying, the good Lord above blessed me with navigational skills. I'll travel to an area and I hardly ever get lost, ever, in a car or whatever. I've always I don't know, it's in my gut. I just figure it out, but that's just me. Some other things you want to do is, I take something for entertainment, y'all. This is my entertainment. I take a radio. I can get weather with this. I can get just various stations. I love listening to the radio, period. Heck, I like listening to the radio more than I watch TV sometimes. I'm just old school like that. I just like it. This is a Sea Crane Skywave. This can pick up air traffic, AM, FM, shortwave, weather channels. I love this little thing. Great little radio. It's very light. I'll take batteries when need be. A lot of times I got rechargeable batteries if I'm out for days on end. That I'll take this and I'll recharge in my battery pack. Charge them. That's a form of entertainment. A lot of times I'm reading this book right now, First Blood, the book. Different from the movie, but I'm reading that right now. I take a radio and a book with me just for entertainment. I love to have just a little notebook I'm constantly writing notes. I'm making sketches. If I see a big rock that sticks out, making notes how to get in and out. As much notes, much things to remind me of where I'm at as possible. Now, I take a saw. This is kind of take some gloves for hand protection. I take a saw. It's a foldable saw. I normally don't take both. Normally I'll take a saw. Sometimes you might have to do some cutting away, and I'll take my little hatchet with me. But the radio is critical. I take the radio wherever I go for entertainment purposes, to obtain information. Since I don't go in with a cell phone, that's just an intel gathering and entertainment purposes. And like I said, I take a light book, a small book, and this is just the book I'm reading right now, the First Blood book. So there you have it, y'all. There's some things I do want to point out, like I said, that you're not going to see here right now. The biggest thing is a weapon of choice. Take whatever weapon of choice you need be. Not going to mention the names. You know what I'm talking about. I do carry, and you best believe if I'm stepping in those woods, I got a means to protect myself. You know, there's bears, there's coyotes, there's bobcats, there's wild dogs, snakes. You got all types of things. You in the wilderness, you out there, and it ain't no dialing 911 and somebody pops up from behind a tree to help your hind parts out, y'all. Some people can't understand that. Some people don't understand that when you're out in the middle of no place, you're going to need to protect yourself, you know? Then you got the human element, and that's the worst one of them all. You know how us humans can be. So you never know. You might come across Jason Michael Myers. You never know. You might come across Jason Michael Myers is out there. So protect yourself, y'all. Defensive purposes only, folks. So there you have it, y'all. I see Wolverines. We don't promote violence, but use it for strictly defensive purposes. Use your imagination when I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You're not going to see that here. You're not going to see my sleeping bag. You don't see the handheld flashlight. What else? Yeah, so some quick add-ons. Make sure you dress for the elements. You know, you might want to throw a poncho in here. I take a light raincoat with me. Something else that you don't see here. Weather permitting, make sure you dress appropriately for the elements. A couple other things, like I'll take an extra pair. I don't take a lot. It depends, again, how long you're going out for. I take an extra pair of socks. I take an extra pair of underwear, t-shirt to change into. It all depends, though, how long I'm going out for. Normally, if I go out for an overnight trip, the one thing I do to have a fresh pair of socks on to change into before I get into that sleeping bag, hang out my old ones. That's just me. Again, you can do whatever you want to do. You can add to this. So make sure you remember weapon of choice. You don't see my sleeping bag. You don't see the handheld flashlight. But that's it, y'all. That's about it that I take personally. Again, this is not a bug out bag, y'all. This is what I call, me personally, at SE Wolverines, if we because we're gonna get into more survival on this channel. That's what it's all about. This video is long overdue. What you see on my channel is a lot of news. We're gonna stick to the news a little bit, but more into the survival aspect. That's what the channel is supposed to be, an outdoor channel, but we had some problems this year, y'all. We'll go over that once we get out there. I have some stories to tell, but when I talk about a scout bag, this is what I'm talking about. You can use this for a reference point if you're subscribed to the channel. If you're new here and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you leave a comment, subscribe if you like the information that I'm telling you. There will be more on these type of videos dealing with gear, outdoor, apocalypse, World War III, because that's where we're headed, y'all. So I go on scouts again, just to reiterate. I'm trying to gain intel on an area that I've never been before, for potential bugout locations and for potential cache locations, or simply if I know that if I'm traveling from point A to point B and I have to go through an area, I might have to gain intel of that area just to go. You know, you're not going to be walking through town if the apocalypse happens. Sometimes you might, who knows. Just if I want to gain intel. Basically, it's an intel kit, you could call it. Scout kit. Another thing you might be wondering about it that you might not see is a first aid kit, band-aids, bandages, just something real light. Any type of medications you might need as well. Ibuprofens, allergy medications, anything like that. Something you don't see here. A little personables, a little travel toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant. So that's something you don't see here as well. Just a small little tiny personable bag. One thing you might not see here and you might be asking yourself is like a multi-tool. To me, I don't hardly ever use them. If it was a bug out bag, I would take for fixing equipment and different things you can use it for. You can use it as a backup cutting tool, just different things. Me personally, one is not included in here because I don't like carrying a lot of extra stuff. This is stuff I'm comfortable with, but if you're comfortable with that, feel free to take it. I don't like carrying extra stuff. Sometimes when I was just starting out, I'd carry extra knives, I would carry multi-tools, I'd carry all this stuff, get out there and never use it. And I just weigh myself down. So I can get along without one, or, from a scouting trip from I would say 1 to 3, 4 days. I could get along fine without one. I'm fine. Another thing I do is I might take an extra platypus, this water container with me. I normally do. I normally have another one just in case water is not available in my area, especially with Keo, my dog, with me because she drinks a lot, and I use water for drinking and for a lot of my food. So I'll take an extra one of those 1 or 2 water bottles. Again, I got a light straw, keep it as a light on a scout trip, but we got a lot of different filters. We'll go over some filters later on, but that's about it, y'all. Feel free to add to it. Feel free to borrow. Feel free to leave any comments down below and let me know your thoughts. Again, this is not a bug out bag. It's just a scout bag to gain intel on possible bug out locations, cache locations. If you're trying to just scout an area and see how much traffic's going on, many different reasons to have a scout bag. So it's your boy Isaac with SE Wolverines. I appreciate y'all. Hope you have a great night. We got a special trip planned. Hopefully, Lord willing, we got a special trip for y'all. So make sure you stick to the channel. Check that out. You should like it, hopefully. We're going to keep on continuing the news, y'all. I like the news. It's definitely great to be informed, but however, I don't see it getting any better. I'm not trying to sit here and piss in your Cheerios, y'all. But to me, it's getting a little hectic out there, y'all. So, our motto, prepare, y'all. Prepare. You got to get out there and see what's out around. You might have to get out of Dodge in your area. A million reasons why you might have to get from your home, leave your home if something crazy happens. We suggest you stay at home. That's where your stuff is. That's where your neighbors are. That's what you're familiar with. But sometimes you might have to get out of Dodge. All right, then. This is your boy Isaac signing off for SE Wolverines. Have a good one, y'all. God bless. Please hit that like button. I appreciate it. Helps us get out to the world a little bit more. Stay strong and get prepared out there, y'all. Good night, America. SE Wolverines.